All right, in this video, we're going to go over the settings for all of the NinjaStrat bots. These settings are going to be common amongst any of the algorithms on offer. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to point out that on the NinjaStrat website, you'll be able to find documentation for any one of the algorithms that should be updated as any new features are released. But to get there, go to the NinjaStrat website, support tab, browse documentation, and strategy documentation. In here, you'll find documents specific to each one of the algorithms. So today we're going to go over Strat Engine for an example. So the settings that are common to all bots are going to be stuff like the trading window, the risk management, and the take profit. First one, of course, the trading window is going to allow you to specify when the algorithm will take trades. In this case, we have it set up for the New York session between 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Max profit, max loss. This is a realized profit and loss. So the way that this works is when the bot enters a trade, before it enters a trade, it will check to see what the daily profit and loss is and will not enter if above or below. So if a trade is closed, the calculation updates and the bot will or will not enter based on that. So if you're in the middle of the trade, you hit your daily loss or your daily profit, the bot will not deactivate until that trade is closed and the calculation is updated at that point. And so the next setting that is common amongst all of the bots is going to be the risk management. So Strat Engine does have martingale functionality. Martingale functionality is when a trade is classified as a loss, it will either double the size or increase the size based on the selected amount. Standard, linear, and Fibonacci are the options. There'll be more about that in the documentation. Risk sizing. So the way that this works is you can specify whether you want to risk a specified dollar amount, in this case, $200 per trade. So if we're trading MNQ, it will automatically change how many contracts we're entering in on the trade to risk that $200 based on the distance of the stop loss. So when we have a strat entry, here we have the 212 short. Loss is based on the previous bar's high. So the bot will automatically calculate what is the difference between the entry price, the stop loss area, and how many contracts, what's the minimum amount of contracts we can get into without risking more than the specified dollar amount. So that's the dollar risk sizing. The other option is the percent of account. So the way this works is you input your account size. So for example, you have a $50,000 eval. You have $2,000 worth of drawdown. What you'll probably want to do is risk somewhere around 5% of that drawdown. This will allow you to do that. So you put the $2,000 in and risking 5% of account. We also have a maximum contract per trade limit. So when you have a really small time frame that you're entering in on, really small stop loss, you're not entering in on hundreds of contracts depending on the account size. This will put a cap on that amount. This full compounding option is primarily for back tests. So when you're sizing based on a percent of account, as profit and loss goes up, the actual amount risked, the number of contracts risked with the same percentage will increase with the higher account balance. So that's the main purpose for that one. Next one, trend detection. As with any strat-based or NinjaStrat algo, we use primarily time frame continuity as the principle for detecting trends. So the way that this works is whether or not the higher time frame is above or below its open. So you can specify, customize what time frames you want to look at. We have an option for including the daily, including the weekly, and then the higher time frame 1, 2, and 3. You can input the number of minutes that will be looking at. So that's trend detection on this. Strat Engine is unique in that it uses another setting possibility for trend method. This is ATR trail, also known as super trend. It uses a look back, specified look back, and ATR period here. Calculates ATR of the bars immediately preceding and creates a trailing stop or a level that is dynamic as price moves. So another way to detect trend with that. So the last category that is the same amongst all of the bots that we have on offer is the take profit. So take profit types, we have a couple of options. The first one, of course, is a fixed amount, fixed take profit in ticks. So you specify how many ticks the take profit will be. It will set the market order there, the limit order there, sorry. So the other option is a reward. So the way that this works is you put in the R multiplier. So for a trade where you're risking, say, 5 points, that would be 1R. So however big the stop loss is, your multiplier will take that amount and, of course, multiply it in the direction of the trade and won't exit until that level. All this completely automated. Take profit settings. What else? All of the bots are going to have visual display options. This will allow you to actually turn on and off any of the chart indicators. The algorithms don't require them to be painted on the chart to run. This is just a visual addition so you can see what's going on behind the scenes. Exit strategies. This is something new that we're going to be adding into the rest of the bots, but the minimum risk to reward to exit. So in the Strat Engine case, there is the option to exit upon the first strat reversal. So in this case, we have the 2 down short, and we could have exited here. This was technically the first strat reversal, but because there wasn't actually 1R hit yet, or in this case, 3R, is the way that it is set up for, it will avoid taking any of those strat reversals to exit. So that's that. Other extra strategy options available to the rest of the bots. We have the enable break even. This is going to let you automatically set a break even level. So once you're into the trade, this is again a R to R risk to reward ratio calculation. So break even offset of 1. When the trade moves 1R in the preferred direction, that will go ahead and set the stop at break even. The original stop loss type options for that are the usual strat, previous high low. We can specify a fixed stop loss amount, also in ticks. Another new feature coming out soon, just now beginning the testing of, is the most recent swing high low. So this is going to be a calculation using the broadening formation swing. So the highest high within a certain number of bars, but I'll go into more of that when I do the Strat Engine specific video. Exit strategy, visual display, covered that. Cover risk. So this is the last setting that I wanted to go through. So the way that this works is when you enter a trade with, say, 10 contracts, the cover risk option, when the trade goes 1R in your direction, it will split however many you're in the trade for. So if you're in for 10, it'll split that in 2, that's 5, and it'll take profit on half of your position at 1R, so that even if the trade goes all the way against you, goes back to that stop loss, it is a true break even while still not bringing the stop loss up to the entry point. So that's the last option there. These settings are the ones that, again, are available on all of the NinjaStrat bots. And if they're not, they will be soon. Keep an eye out for the next one.